In this video, we show you top 10 things to do in Seattle. Here are our top 10 picks. Number 10. Seattle Waterfront. Seattle Waterfront is one of the most popular attractions in the city, with an array of iconic restaurants, unique souvenir shops, and other attractions. While walking around Waterfront Park and the promenade, you'll experience incredible views of the skyscrapers and Elliott Bay. Visiting the Miners Landing, the refurbished 1890s Gold Rush Pier 57 will not be complete without riding the Seattle Great Wheel or enjoying plenty of family-friendly activities and food options. If you like sea life, visiting the Seattle Aquarium is a must. The aquarium features sea animals, marine exhibits, and interactive displays, focusing on Pacific Northwest with a planned renovation to make it even bigger in the future. They even let you gently touch some of the animals. Number 9. Museum of Pop Culture. The Museum of Pop Culture, located in Seattle Center, an area dating back to the 1962 World's Fair, is a non-profit museum celebrating the creative art of science fiction, fantasy, film, and music. Visit the world's most extensive collection of artifacts from Seattle's greatest musicians and bands like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Jimi Hendrix, or admire memorabilia from one of the most iconic movies like Star Wars and Matrix or Terminator. You can even try playing different instruments and sneak into the studio to record your own song. The museum offers endless possibilities. Did you know that this museum was founded by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen in 2002 as the Experience Music Project? It was designed by renowned Canadian-American architect Frank Gehry, who is famous for creating Walt Disney Concert Hall in LA, Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, the Dancing House in Prague, and many more. Of course, there are other fascinating museums to discover in Seattle. Number 8. Space Needle. If you would like to explore the city from a different angle, visit Space Needle. Designated as a historic landmark in Seattle, the Space Needle is a 605 feet or 184-meter observation deck and attraction presenting a scenic 360-degree view of the city. Enjoy glass benches leaning over the tilting glass. And don't forget to experience the city from above on a revolving glass floor, the first and the only one in the world. Number 7. Companies from Seattle. Seattle is home to many Fortune 500 companies like Microsoft or Boeing. If you have time, explore a worldwide renowned coffee chain Starbucks with its original coffee house at Seattle's Pike Place Market from the 1970s. Don't skip Seattle Spheres, constructed by 3 glass domes or conservatories of the Amazon campus. Just around the corner, there is one of several Amazon Go stores, a cashierless convenience store. Number 6. Woodland Park Zoo. The Woodland Park Zoo, founded in 1899, is a one-of-a-kind zoological experience featuring plenty of rare animals and endangered species. It offers Washington's highest number of animals, representing more than 250 species, and it received several Best National Exhibit awards. Walk around 92 acres of land occupied by exhibits, parks, playgrounds, and other spaces. Over 1 million tourists visit the zoo every year, especially drawn to its mission to wildlife conservation. Number 5. Gasworks Park at Lake Union. Built on the grounds of a former gasification plant from the early 19th century, the city bought the site and transformed it into a public park in 1975. Gasworks Park is an internationally acclaimed project of American landscape artist Richard Haig, who gained numerous recognitions for his work in the park. Gasworks still incorporates elements of the former plant. Climb Kite Hill to get a better view of the plant and its surroundings. Check our travel guide for more information. Of course, there are plenty of other parks and beach areas in Seattle and its surroundings worth exploring. By the way, the park is set on Lake Union, a glacier lake dug by the Vashon Glacier 12,000 years ago, now a significant part of the Lake Washington Ship Canal. Here you can rent a boat, go sailing, paddleboarding, or explore the attractions on the southern part of the lake. You can even embark on a Cheshihoot Lake Union Loop Trail that takes you around the lake. Number 4. Pioneer Square. Pioneer Square, the city's oldest neighborhood, is a historical community in southern Seattle, where the founders settled in 1852. Since the area's early day structure was primarily wooden, Pioneer Square was almost all destroyed in the 1889 Great Seattle Fire, preserving its touch of the 19th century Richardsonian Romanesque architecture. The structures of most buildings in Pioneer Square are now made from old bricks and stones. Find more about this neighborhood's history by joining the Beneath the Streets underground tours or inside the Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park. Pioneer Square is full of trendy bars and galleries. By the way, visit the Smith Tower, one of the world's first skyscrapers, where you can enjoy a scenic open-air view of the city. Don't skip other exciting neighborhoods in Seattle, like Fremont District with the famous Fremont Troll, or Chinatown International District with plenty of Asian food and shopping options. Number 3. Chihuly Garden and Glass. Seattle is a glass art center, globally recognized as a glass-blowing hub. The Chihuly is an artistic collection of the work of world-renowned American glass artist Dale Chihuly. Visit Chihuly Garden and Glass, located just below the Space Needle in Seattle Center, one of his permanent exhibits in the US. Launched in May 2012, the project boasts a garden, the centerpiece glass house, 8 galleries and a theater. The glass house is an iconic 40-foot tall structure made of glass and steel and is one of the artist's largest suspended works. You can see Chihuly's glass-blowing work, techniques and history in a movie theater, also a place for various community gatherings and educational workshops. Number 2. Water transportation. What better way to travel and experience Seattle's surroundings than by riding one of the city's efficient water transportations like King County Water Taxi or Seattle Bainbridge Ferry, which takes you on a 35-minute ride from Seattle to Bainbridge Island. The exciting ferry ride offers a breathtaking view of the city's skyline and good food and drink selection from its cafe. Don't miss a chance to embark on a cruise tour, sail around the harbor, and enjoy spectacular views of Elliott Bay and the beautiful Seattle skyline from the water. Number 1. Pike Place Market. Serving for more than a century, the Pike Place Market is one of the oldest operating public markets in the US. Branded as the soul of the city, it has been brought to life and color by local farmers, fishmongers, merchants, antique shops, and its 10 million visitors annually. The century-old market attraction is known for its fish market with a tradition of throwing fish, which started out as a prank and became a tradition since people enjoyed the show. Explore the market to try some of Seattle's authentic food options or just to buy beautiful flowers as the locals do. Visit the upper and lower Post Alley with plenty of bars and restaurants that got its name after the former Post-Intelligencer newspaper. Don't skip the famous Gum Wall right under Pike Marketplace. We wish you an amazing trip to Seattle.
Dive into the alluring region of Western Sumatra, which I consider to be my new favorite destination in Indonesia. This region really won't cease to amaze you, whether you love to go for island hopping, enjoying beautiful landscapes, tasting delicious food, or learning about the local culture. In all of these categories, West Sumatra is going to impress you. Strap yourself in for the top 10 things to do in West Sumatra, Indonesia. Selamat sore, selamat datang ke channel saya. Welcome to my channel, my name is Jemo. I'm a Swiss traveler who mostly produces videos about Southeast Asia and Switzerland. If you like this kind of content, then you're right in this channel here, so you're most welcome to subscribe. Alright, let's start with the first place on this top 10 list. Number 10 goes to the Lembah Ana waterfall. Western Sumatra is full of surprises and wonderful landscapes. Should you decide to visit Bukittinggi first, then you surely will pass the waterfall as it's just by the road. The waterfall is quite impressive, entry only will cost you around $50 and surely you are not going to be disappointed. With it being so convenient to visit, you surely cannot complain about this beautiful waterfall. Number 9 is located in the town of Bukittinggi, and that is the Jambatan Limpape. This bridge is located right in the heart of Bukittinggi. It's built in a modern Minangkabau style which reflects the architecture that is very prevalent in this region. From the bridge you can oversee the town, but it's also worth to go to the other side to visit this small zoo and a Minangkabau museum. There you can learn a lot about the local culture and customs. Selamat sore! Number 8 is what this region is probably the most famous for, and that is its delicious food. Great news for you foodie travelers! This place is one of the very best for you in all Indonesia. Minangkabau cuisine is very diverse and delicious, and it's widely respected within the whole of Indonesia, even in Malaysia and Singapore. Definitely a must-try is nasi Padang, although I already can tell you it's going to be hard to escape from it. It's a set of different plates of dishes from which you are supposed to pick several and then only pay for what you have consumed. The food in here is very delicious. A must-try are beef rendang, but also sambal balado, which is a spicy chili paste. Regarding beverages, my secret tip, teh telur. This is a tea with duck egg. I know it sounds a bit weird, yet it's just so delicious. Number 7 is located in the town of Padang. It's a landmark and a symbol of pride to the locals, and that is the Grand Mosque of Western Sumatra. This building is the pride of the town of Padang. It's one of the uniquely designed mosques all over the world. It doesn't have any round dome, and neither does it show many elements of Arab or Indian architecture. Instead, it is fully dedicated to the Minangkabau style architecture with its many wooden ornaments and a curved rooftop. The latter should symbolize the horns of a water buffalo. Although it's a very modern interpretation of the Minangkabau architecture, it's quite genius in its design, and it's one of the most beautiful mosques that I've ever visited in Southeast Asia. With number 6, we're diving into the local culture of the Minangkabau people, and that is the museum at Padang Panjang. This museum lays about halfway between Padang and Bukittinggi. In here you can learn a lot about the traditions and history of the Minangkabau people that are native to Western Sumatra. This museum is a very beautiful adaptation of the Rumah Gadang. This is how the Minangkabau people call their traditional houses. The many wooden ornaments and curved rooftops are signature for this type of houses. It just looks stunning. The interior is also very nice, and what's even more fun is that you can rent a traditional Minangkabau dress for taking photos inside or around the house. Although you might think that this is only one of the few remaining Rumah Gadangs, you sooner or later will realize that this type of house is actually very common in this region. With number 5, we're moving to the upper half of this top 10 list, and that is the Enggarai Sihanouk, which is probably the most touristy site in the town of Bukittinggi. Welcome to the Instagram hotspot of Bukittinggi. This valley is one of the most beautiful and at the same time most convenient landscapes to visit, as it's just nicely embedded into the town. From here you will have a fantastic view of this valley. What's the best? The entry only costs you $2. Don't forget to pay a visit to the Japanese war tunnel that is just right here. Number 4 are the traditional Minangkabau mosques that are scattered all around the region of Western Sumatra. This is my secret favorite and something I hope you Minangkabau people of Western Sumatra will feel very proud of. In here I found some of the most interesting and mystic mosques that I've ever seen on my travels. I do have to say I became quite a fan of the traditional mosques that are scattered all around this region. I only visited the Surah Lubuk Bau and the Musajid Asasi in Padang Panjang, but there are many similar ones like these too. Definitely on my next trip I will try to visit some more. To the locals, I can only say, please take well care of these structures, they're just amazing. We're now moving up to the podium. Actually, I wanted to reserve number 3 for Lake Maninjau. However, when I planned to go there, the weather wasn't really great, thus I had to leave this beautiful piece of nature out. Therefore, I'm giving number 3 to the beautiful island called Pulau Pamutusan. We're now adding some real fun to your trip. Of course, Western Sumatra is so cultural, mystical and historical, but it also has marvelous beaches and islands just like this one here. Although the weather wasn't sunny on that day, I visited this island called Pulau Pamutusan and I had one of the most relaxing times at this beautiful beach. It was really great to swim in here, well, until I got stung by a jellyfish. Maybe regarding that you want to bring a neoprene suit just to be safe. But else, this place is just wow. Number 2 is a place that is very important to the history of the Minangkabau people, and that is the magnificent palace called Istana Basa Pagaruyung. Once Western Sumatra was a kingdom that lasted for more than 500 years. The Istana Basa Pagaruyung is what reminds us today of this formerly proud dynasty. The present building is already the second replica. The original was burned down during the Padri War, and the first replica also burned down after being struck by lightning. The interior is very impressive, a beautiful amalgam of wood and colorful fabrics. You probably will also notice these many German-like flags. Well, it's actually older and it's the flag of the Pagaruyung dynasty. Up to this day, it's one of the symbols of the land of the Minangkabau. In here, you also can rent traditional attires for only $3, which I highly recommend as you can take a lot of cool photos. Should you have enjoyed watching this video so far, then I would very much appreciate if you could press the like button. With that, you would give me a lot of support. Also, if you're new to this channel and haven't subscribed yet, then you're most welcome to do that now. That would be really cool. And now, before I'm revealing to you the number 1 place, here are a few top honorable mentions. The Jamgadang at Bukittinggi, Puncak Mande and the rice fields at Padang Pariaman. And now I'm revealing to you the number 1 place on this top 10 list. Number 1 goes to the very, very beautiful island called Pulau Pasampahan. This is what I called the perfect finish of a perfect but too short trip to this region. Pulau Pasampahan is a serene island just in front of this cute fishing village called Sungai Pisang. The fishing village is already quite stunning. If you're lucky, you'll see the locals repainting their boats, and surely then you'll get to see plenty of these colorful masterpieces. This was definitely one of the highlights of my trip to Western Sumatra. I really hope you will be as lucky when you travel there. To the island, it only takes 15 to 20 minutes by boat ride from the village, and tours from here are actually very cheap, costing you only $30 for an entire day. The atmosphere on the island is very calm, there are a couple of locals, barely any tourists, and thus it's just perfect to be in here. Taking a look at the surrounding landscape, you might feel that you're lost in Jurassic Park. It actually really reminded me of this great classic movie. I leave it up to you when you want to come to this island, but surely it's going to be quite a highlight if you save it for the last full day of your trip. With myself having ended a perfect trip with a perfect visit to Pulau Pasampahan, I really felt sad to leave this region, but I'm surely coming back as there is a lot more to discover, and I already anticipate that my next top 10 list is going to look quite different. But should you only have a few days in Western Sumatra, I do think this list definitely will serve you well. This was my top 10 selection for Western Sumatra, Indonesia. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please press that like button or also share it to your friends. It would be really cool. Please let me know down in the comments section whether you agree with my top 10 list. I would be really interested to hear your opinion. I know there are many more beautiful places that I didn't cover in this video. Unfortunately, I only traveled for 4 days to Western Sumatra. I know it's by far not enough. This region is just so fascinating. Sangat rindu Sumatera Barat. Semoga boleh balik di tahun 2021. Hopefully next year in 2021 I can go there again. I want to cover a lot more places, and then of course I would travel there for longer, for 10 days in total. With that, I hope to provide you another top 10 list, but of course an improved 2.0 version. We've reached the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. We're going to see each other very soon.